So I want to talk about some of the games that I've been playing both from October of 2022 as well as now in November for the Steam Deck, and it's been a lot. Like, I'm not gonna even lie, I've been playing a lot of video games, not so much for like leisure, but more so because I've been reviewing a lot of titles from AAA, indies, and so much more in between. But I want to talk about a lot of games I've been covering. So it's, you know, and if you guys know me, you know I cover a lot of titles, like both in written format and video format, but you know, a lot of these games have been coming in and surprising me. I've been having a lot of fun with them, and let's just be honest, some of these have some jank to them, you know, both the AAA and the third-party ones as well, but there's a lot of titles I've been playing that I've been absolutely enjoying. And before we do any of this, like we dive into this video or anything like that, if you enjoy the content I put out, make sure you sub to the channel and ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the content put out. And also consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon supporter, you know, get you early exclusive access to various content I'm putting out. So yeah, on top of all that, let's go ahead and dive into this video. All right, and kicking off this video, I want to showcase the first game that I've been playing and absolutely loving. It's none other than Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, I have a full video review of this coming for the Steam Deck and PC in general, and I've also done a full review of this game for PlayStation 5, so if you want to check those out, they'll be in the link down below in the description. Like, what can I say? Spider-Man Remastered was already phenomenal, being able to play that on the Steam Deck. You know, such an amazing title that's honestly one of, if not the best superhero games to ever be made. And it's kind of a debate. Is it this, the Spider-Man game, or is it Batman Arkham games? Like, they're that damn good that they can go neck and neck, right? But playing Spider-Man Remastered was already phenomenal. And then when Miles Morales got announced for it, I'm like, man, I gotta cover this. PlayStation hit me up, say, hey, here's a review copy. You know, play it, do a video on it, tell us what you think. And honestly, I've been having so much fun playing this. I loved Miles Morales when I originally played it on the PlayStation 5, and you know, playing it again, it's really just that damn good. Like, you know, being able to set it, and you know, by default it's gonna run at 30 frames per second, but if you change it to FSR 2.1, then you can be able to run it at a variable refresh rate, but it'll fluctuate from like at its lowest being 30 frames per second stable to being at like the upper like 50 frames to sometimes 60 frames, and it doesn't stay at those higher frame rates all the time, but it still runs better than like just stock setting. But all that being said, you know, being able to swing around the city, you know, playing as Miles, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. And that's one of the things, like the PlayStation games that are coming to Steam and just, you know, being able to play them on Steam Deck, they're so well optimized, they look absolutely fantastic. You gotta get this game. I know there's a lot of people that complain that this isn't packed in with the first game and they're coming out at, you know, kind of a full price or a slightly discounted price compared to like the PlayStation 5 version. It is what it is. I mean, sometimes you gotta pay to play, and honestly, if you're really gonna bitch about the price, just go to CD Keys, go to Game Billet, go to any of these sites that give you a discount, because you can get the games discounted. You don't have to pay full price. I don't understand why people complain about that, but this game is really playing this portably it's a major go, as Flossie Connor would say. All right, so one of the games I really want to talk about that I've been having an absolute blast playing, and it is really, there's going to be several titles there I'm going to be talking about, because Square Enix has been absolutely crushing it this year with their game output. And the one I want to talk about right here is Tactics Ogre Reborn. I have absolutely been cherishing my time with this title, and yeah, I'm showing you gameplay from like the early, you know, the early levels of it. Is just because that's what I started off playing when I was recording this before the game came out, right? This is a game that I love, like, and it inspired Final Fantasy Tactics, right? And if you're wondering, do they play the exact same? No, they play very, very differently. And everything about this game, from the story, the gameplay, and just like the way the characters are, like the seriousness of which this game takes itself, and how the vocal performances of the voice actors, like they make you believe these characters. This is such a gripping title that you're going to need to invest like 50, 60 hours before you complete it. And that's not including all the side stuff that you can do in it. This is absolutely one of my favorite tactical RPGs ever, right? And I know this is like the second to third remake of this title, because originally it was a Super Nintendo title that it never released in the West. Then it became a PlayStation 1 title. Then it went on to be remade on the PlayStation Portable, which no one cared for when it came out on that platform, which is depressing. And now here it is on all major platforms, and I'm hoping this is going to see the resurgence of the Ogre battle series. But yes, this game absolutely captivating. If you have not played it, you need to pick it up. Perfect in portable mode, also perfect whether you're playing it on TV or a monitor. This game, it's a must play. All right, the next title I've been diving into and enjoying a lot is also another Square Enix title, and it is none other than the DioField Chronicle. This is a game, also a tactical RPG, but it's one that I really enjoy playing because it's got like that real-time aspect of literally everything's happening in real time. It's not turn-based in any way, shape, or form. Like, you're moving around the field and, you know, executing attacks, switching between characters, going on the offense, going on the defense, you know, going from point A to B, going to here, like sending a unit to here or A or point B to pick up something. Like, it's so much of a dynamic title. Unfortunately, it is easy. You know, it's an easy game overall, but it's such a dynamic title that you really can't go wrong with it. Like, this is a lot of fun. Like, I'm literally enjoying it. The story is very captivating. Is it the best Square Enix title to come out, or one of the best real-time strategy games or tactical battle games to come out? No, but it's very enjoyable for what it is. I know a lot of people have blasted it, but I don't know. Like, I've really been enjoying it, especially on the Steam Deck. Like, this is something, whether you're using controller, the Steam Deck, you know, controls themselves, or keyboard and mouse, this is an absolutely fantastic game to dive into. And just like when you're not in battle, there's always something to do for crafting and side quests and, you know, all kinds of other stuff. There's the character tree system. It's so good. And if you were curious about this game, I got a full written review over on my website, mikhailcastoma.com. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. And you definitely, you know, this game, yes, also check this out too. It says 3 check it outs. It's definitely worth your time. Next game I want to talk about is none other than Valkyrie Elysium. I did a full review of this game on the PlayStation 5. I did a written review, and I absolutely love this game. And it's another game that the critics didn't too much, you know, they didn't really like it. But I absolutely loved it. I thought for a game that's action-based, which is very different than what the traditional Valkyrie profile titles are, like, it did really well. I mean, it incorporated a lot of the personality and soul of the Valkyrie profile games into this. And granted, this is it's technically canon to the main titles, like Valkyrie Profile 1 and 2, as well as the Covenant game. It still is enough of its own unique thing. Like, if this is going to be like a sub-series within the Valkyrie Profile franchise, I wouldn't argue with it whatsoever. I absolutely love playing it. And it's so fun. Like, it's a hack and slash game that also requires you to utilize a little bit of strategy, call in support characters like you would in the main titles. And, you know, the story is very, very captivating. It's a very dark story, as are all the Valkyrie titles. They're very bleak and somber titles. And so this one is no different whatsoever. And it's easy to pick up and play. It's really, you know, you can get this game running at 60 frames per second. By default, the default settings kind of limit it to 30 frames. But if you turn down the graphic settings to low, medium to low, and you turn on the FSR support, you'll be able to run this at 60 frames. And it'll still look really good on, you know, the handheld. And you can even if you output it to 1080p on like a monitor, it'll still look really good and still give you that, you know, variable 60 frames per second. Let's just put it that way. But it's definitely a title I've had a lovingly good time with. Absolutely recommend it. Now, again, another Square Enix title. This is almost going to be the Square Enix games I've been playing. Is none other than Triangle Strategy. This is hands down one of the absolute best games to come out this year for every platform it's on, which is technically too the Switch and, you know, Steam. And this game is so good because if you're looking for a game that's got a really engrossing like plot, you know, endearing characters, ingenious battle system, this is the game. Like, honestly, if I had to choose between playing this and playing Tactics Ogre Reborn, that's a hard choice. Like, graphically, yeah, this is superior to Tactics Ogre Reborn because it's using the style that we saw in, like, you know, Octopath Traveler, which is what this company is going to do for a lot of their games. Like, I think there's like another Day Traveler, or whatever the name of that title is they have, that also uses the same art style. Like, yeah, this is graphically superior to Tactics Ogre Reborn, but man, the gameplay between this and that, while very different, is very much, this is like an evolution of what, you know, you got from that. So I would say, like, man, like I could literally ramble about this. This game is just so good. It's so good. If you have the opportunity to play this, if you can play it on Switch, you can play it on Steam, get it. If you definitely get it for your Steam Deck. This game is so good. You can get a good 50 plus hours out of it. Lovable characters, so much to do. You can't go wrong with this. All right, next up is another Square Enix title. I know you're probably getting tired of Square Enix at this point, but this title is none other than Harvestella. And I know a lot of people kind of groaned at this because, like, you can either play it on the Switch or you can play it on Steam, and it's coming out when there's like a sea of these games that are effectively, you know, they're farming simulators. But this one gives you not only the farming simulation, but you get the action RPG. Even though it's not the deepest, you know, action RPG combat mechanics, it's still good. Like, graphically, it's really good. The story is very engrossing. It's kind of got like a kind of like a Stranger of Paradise. I don't know if you guys played, you know, Final Fantasy Origin, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. How that story went, where it's like not what you think it is. There's a lot of that here in Harvestella. But I will say, like, this is a game you can easily sink so much time into, especially when it comes to like the farming. So like you can farm, cultivate your harvest, you can sell it, you can do trading, you can do crafting. You know, there's the combat aspect of it, there's all the side quests, there's the, you know, village development aspect of it. There's just so much to this game that is so good, that if you have the chance to play this, you will get addicted to this game. No cap. This is a game you're gonna absolutely enjoy diving into. All right, the last Square Enix title I'm gonna talk about in this I've been playing is none other than Star Ocean 6, The Divine Force, or Star Ocean, The Divine Force. This is an amazing title because honestly, this is the game that I was the most surprised by. I was not expecting this to come out. Like, I wasn't expecting another Star Ocean title in general, but this game is so good. Like, it's such an underdog, and it's a game that I see a lot of people just gonna write off as not being good, or they think it's crappy, or it's like unpolished. Yeah, it's unpolished. Yeah, it's got a lot of jank, but it's still good. Like, if you've played Star Ocean 5, which wasn't a bad title in general, this is what that one should have been. Like, it's a true evolution of the Star Ocean formula. And honestly, I think this should be the baseline for whatever they're going to do post Star Ocean 6. But this game is good. Graphically, it's, some characters are hit and miss, but like the gameplay, oh my god, the action gameplay is so good. And then being able to traverse around the open spaces, although a lot of them are walled off, is still really good. Like, being able to use the Duma to fly around here and there is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. I have been enjoying this game, and granted, when it first came out, it did run rough on the Steam Deck. It would freeze here and there, and you had to change to like using Proton Experimental, and sometimes Proton QT was it like 38 and 37 to get it to run decently. patches have come out that, you know, you don't really need to use any of the protons at all. It absolutely just runs perfectly fine. And yeah, this is a game you're gonna get a lot of time out of. Like, it's a great story. One of my best friends is the main character. You know, shout out to Mark Whitten. He voices the main character in this game, and he just does an absolutely phenomenal job. The entire voice cast is awesome. So if you're looking for a really good action RPG to sink your teeth into, this is the one you're gonna dive into. All right, so aside from the Square Enix stuff that I've been playing, and, you know, Spider-Man Miles Morales, here are some of the other games that I've been playing on the Steam Deck. This is gonna be quick. I'm just gonna show you guys the games I've been playing. A bunch of indie games in here that I really, you know, I had a lot of fun with. Some of them had a lot of jank. They're cool nonetheless. So let's go ahead and show you guys. And that's it. That's the games that I've been playing from October to here in November, and I've been enjoying my time with it. But what are some of the games you've been playing? Have you been playing any of these titles? Did you pick up any of them? Any of these, some that you've been looking forward to? Whatever your thoughts are, let's go ahead and get the conversation going in the comment section down below. And if you want to pick up any of these games, I will have affiliate links for CD keys, Humble Bundle, and the like. So if you want to get them, you can get them at a discounted price, especially with CD keys. And there you go. And aside from that, if you enjoy the content I put out, make sure you like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content I put out on this channel. And yeah, channel memberships, Patreon if you want support. You know, you also got super thanks. That's also cool, as well as merch. And all that being said, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay safe, be blessed. Hope to see you around on the next one. Have a little ha. I'll see you around. Peace.